Hi guys, I'm back again to tell you another story from the Bible. And this time I'd like to tell you a story about a man named Joseph. So here he is. His name is Joseph. And before I read you the story, I actually have several different books about Joseph. But one of the ones that I'm going to read to you today didn't have the part about the coat that he's wearing. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about that first. So before I read the actual story, I'm going to read you a little bit of something from one of my Bible stories. And I'll hold this picture up so you can see Joseph here. So Joseph lived in the land of Canaan with his parents and 11 older brothers. Wow! I only have one older sister and I can't imagine living with 11 older brothers. That is a lot. Joseph and his brothers worked in the fields all day taking care of his family's sheep. Joseph's father, Jacob, loved all of his sons, but Jacob had a special feeling for Joseph. One day, Jacob surprised Joseph with a gift, a beautiful coat of bright colors. His brothers were jealous and angry. Their father never gave them presents like that, like his beautiful coat. Do you see it? Now, coats back then in Bible times were kind of like maybe what you think of as a big bathrobe. So that is his pretty coat, and it has all kinds of awesome colors. And there's his brothers hanging out in the background. They are not too happy about that. All right, so now that we know about Joseph getting his coat from his father, Jacob, and his brothers being angry about it, let's see what happens in this story that I have for you today. So here's Joseph and some of his brothers. And it says, let's see, can't you see it? That's better. God gave Joseph a special gift. And this time, we're not talking about his colorful coat that he got from his dad. He has a gift that he can do something very interesting. Joseph could tell the meaning of dreams. He told his brothers about his dreams. In one dream, his brothers' bundles of wheat bowed down to his own bundles of wheat. That sounds kind of strange. In another dream, the sun, moon, and the stars bowed down to Joseph. His brothers grew angry. They thought that meant that they were going to have to bow down to Joseph someday. Anybody have any strange dreams? Joseph would be able to tell you what they meant. So, the brothers were very angry about Joseph and his dreams. They made a plan to sell Joseph to some traders. Then the brothers sold Joseph into slavery for 8 ounces of silver. Oh my goodness. So now he's living in Egypt. And there he is. He's here now. And this guy is the ruler of Egypt, and he's called a pharaoh. Let's find out what happens. Joseph ended up in Egypt. News of Joseph's gift reached the pharaoh, who ruled all of Egypt. Pharaoh had been trying to figure out what his own dreams meant. He summoned Joseph to him. "Tell me the meaning of my dreams," Pharaoh said. God helped Joseph understand. A terrible famine is coming. That means that there's not going to be any food for them to eat. Pharaoh put Joseph in charge. He ordered the men to collect and store food. So, because Joseph understood Pharaoh's dream, they went and collected enough food and stored it and saved it so then they wouldn't run out of food when the famine came. Recognize these guys? So this is Joseph, and now his brothers are coming to visit. But they didn't even recognize him. Back home, Joseph's family was hungry. They heard Pharaoh had saved some food. The brothers traveled to Egypt. Maybe Pharaoh can help us. Joseph saw his brothers, and the brothers did not know it was Joseph. "Please help us. We have no food," they said. Joseph had pity on them. "I forgive you for selling me. It was God who sent me here to do his work. I was able to save many lives, and now we can live forever." Wow. So instead of being angry that his brothers sold him into slavery in Egypt, he forgave them and let them live in Egypt with him. And it was all part of God's plan that he ended up in Egypt so he could help the Pharaoh. Wasn't that a neat story? That's a pretty cool guy. Named, do you remember? What's his name? Joseph, that's right, and his awesome brightly colored coat that he got from his dad, Jacob. So I thought it would be fun if I taught you how to do a really cool craft, or a couple of them, a couple of different kinds, so you can make a Joseph's coat. So what I have to show you is a couple of different ways that you can do it. So if you have any paper bags, like the little lunch sacks, you can make a puppet. And I made 2 different versions depending on how old you are and what you have and what you want to do. So here is my Joseph puppet. And what I did is I colored with a marker and I added some hair and I added some big googly eyes and a mouth. And then I just took strips of construction paper so I could give him the strips of color on his coat. But if you want to do it a little bit differently, here's another way you can do it. This one, I still have my paper bag, but this time I glued yarn for hair and his googly eyes, and I just tore up pieces of paper and put it all over the bag. So that way you don't have to have it in perfect stripes. It can just be wild and colorful like that. And there's your Joseph puppet. Hi! You don't have to use construction paper either. If you have tissue paper, that would work. Anything colorful. Now this next one is for my kids that might be a little bit older. This one was fun to do, and it's gonna look kind of wild and crazy. You can make your own version. Maybe you could pretend like you were designing a colorful coat for Joseph, and you can make one, ooh, like this. Wow. So all I did was I took a piece of construction paper and I cut out kind of like a big t-shirt shape. And then I went into my craft closet and found all kinds of goodies. So you can see I've got stickers and tissue paper. I've got plastic straws, ribbon, pipe cleaners, buttons. I even found, I've got a colorful Band-Aid and I've got a balloon on there. I've got some sticky tape. I have yarn, I have pipe cleaners. I have some ribbon, some little decorative stuff. You can find all kinds of cool stuff, and you can get different colors and you can decorate Joseph's colorful coat. And then you can remember the story that we learned about Joseph getting his coat from his father, Jacob, and then his brothers were jealous and angry of him. They sold him into slavery into Egypt, and he went to Egypt and helped the Pharaoh learn about his dreams and save everybody by collecting food. And then his brothers came to live with him. So that is a pretty neat story. And that is the story of Joseph. All right, that's it for now. Bye.